James, the brother of Jesus and leader of the early Jewish Christian church, was a vegetarian. In fact, in ecclesiastical history, Eusebius states that James was even raised by his parents as a vegetarian. Now why would his parents do this unless they were vegetarians and raised their entire family, including Jesus, vegetarian as well? There were many vegetarian sects living at that time, as well as in early Christianity. Augustine was a Christian who was an opposer of vegetarianism in Christianity itself. He stated that the vegetarian Christians whom he opposed were so prevalent he couldn't even begin to number them. The early Christian community we read about in Acts chapter 4 was known as the Ebionites, which is a Hebrew word for the poor. They were the Jewish Christian group that Jesus' brother James was the leader of. Ebionite writings disclose that God did not want animals killed at all. It even went so far as to condemn those who even taste meat. These Jewish Christians believed that God never gave Moses any commands to sacrifice animals or even for war. These were actually later additions. Jesus in the biblical record is certainly made out to be extremely opposed to the practice of animal sacrifice. We read in Matthew 21:12-13 that Jesus entered the temple and drove out all who sold and bought in the temple, and he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold pigeons. He said to them, "It is written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you make it a den of robbers.'" Jesus was referencing Jeremiah 7:11, which states, "Has this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes?" Jesus is referencing how Jeremiah tells us that God never made a command about sacrificing animals. The people were doing evil. They were shedding innocent blood. And to think, most people claim that Jesus was only mad that the people were making money off the animals for sacrifice. But in context, this was not the reality. Rather, this was an act of animal liberation. Jesus felt mercy and compassion toward his fellow living beings and could not stand the injustice going on. This cost Jesus his life. He disrupted the animal sacrificial business during such an important week, that of Passover, which resulted in him being tried and crucified by the Romans for sedition. So, ask yourself why such an enlightened man like Jesus would forfeit his life to prevent animals from being murdered. Has his message been lost and obscured over the past 2,000 years?